speaking of a major source of toxins, we haven't talked about that.
Yeah.
But before it even gets into the cup that you're drinking out of is actually the water that you're drinking that could be, could have come from your city or your well.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about what people will find oftentimes in their water.
Yeah, so let's back up even more. In 1989, so I'm from Massachusetts, and I always love to say go Boston because, go Boston. So in 1989, a Massachusetts study found that 1 in every 6 deaths was due to poor air or water quality in
Wow.
1989. It's gotten worse since then. We have more cars on the road, we have denser populations, we have more people living on the same amount of land. So water quality is a huge issue, as is air quality. Let's come back to that. So water quality, you can have a range of things in your water, especially if you have well water, you could have parasites. So it's important to test your water. If you have municipal water, they have certain standards that they have to go by. And literally today, it was announced that PFAS is no longer going to be allowed to be used and produced. And that's trickling down into our local water municipalities where they have to test and remove PFAS from the water. It's very costly, but it's very good because these are forever cancer-linked chemicals. So perchlorate is another really common chemical, even in good water systems, because perchlorate is essentially bleach, and they're using that to kill things in your water so you don't get sick from the water. Except the perchlorate itself is endocrine disrupting, disrupts your reproductive system. So that's where the point of use comes in. So when you talk about filtering your water, you always want to go for the best thing your budget can afford. So if you start from if you can afford a whole house water filter, go there. It won't get rid of the perchlorate, though. You need a reverse osmosis to get rid of perchlorate. So in order to get rid of that at the point of your bathtub, your shower, and your drinking, you do need reverse osmosis point of use filters.
Or a distilled or something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, or a tabletop,
yeah,
countertop type of use, but you can't shower with that. So for your bathing, if you want to go that far, you would need reverse osmosis at every point. So it's something you need to plan, and it can get a little bit tangled because where are you going to put it? And are you building in a closet for every shower? So you'd have to build a house to do that. So not very many people are doing that. So what I would say is on the things you drink, have either a countertop or a reverse osmosis. And then, if you have young children, you may want to do it on their bathtub if you can.
Yeah. And at least you can get like a good carbon filtration system too, which can get a lot of stuff out.
Yes.
So that can help.
I have to share with you, David, we just changed our filters about a week ago. So we live in a city that has very good water, tested. But we installed a whole house water filter after I went through all these issues. I mean, it came to a point where I was like, I'm such a mess. We need to do everything we can.
Yeah, sure.
So we installed a whole house water filter, and we have 2 filters on it. And one filter gets changed once a year, and one filter gets changed every 6 months. So the 6-month one was up for renewal. We pull it out. It is black. Black. We took a picture of, we're posting this on social, on Instagram, with the new one, which is, lily white. And then the other one, it's like black and rust colored. Oh, yeah. And we have clean water. This is the thing to stress. We have water that for years I was like, this water's pretty good, but that's all the stuff we didn't drink.
Yeah.
So water quality is extremely important. And then air quality is extremely important. So and this is again where, like, don't let it make you crazy. Just do better. If you're looking at property, don't buy a property next to or on a golf course, next to or on a farm, next to or on a highway. And there's one more. I'm now totally blanking. It'll come to me. Because these are places that you're getting exposed to high levels of toxins, especially near a
plant or something like that. Probably wouldn't.
Yeah, processing plants. So you don't want, if you have a choice, don't buy property next to those places. If you don't have a choice, then we need to get into, let's make sure your home has great air quality, and that's when it gets into, to the best of your ability, test and filter your air, particularly the places you spend the most time. So if you have a gas cooktop, make sure you're turning on the fan whenever you cook to pull away the toxins that are released.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Right? If you always turn on the fans in your bathroom so that you don't accumulate mold.
Mm,
Have a high quality HEPA air filter in your bedroom near your bed so that you're not breathing poor quality air. If you
yeah.
live near one of those places, maybe keep your windows closed, which is so crazy because we always say open your windows to get good air. But if your air outside is worse than inside, don't open your windows.
Yeah.
Keep it out.
Yeah. But for most people, the EPA says that the indoor air is like 6 times more toxic than outdoor air.
For most people, yes. And then, you said EPA, which is another one of those magic words, so the EPA is responsible for overseeing these things. However, they have very little teeth and enforcement ability.
Yeah.
So it's important that you don't necessarily rely on that agency to tell you what's safe or not, because the last time they banned a substance was in 1984,
Hmm.
which is almost 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So
They're not providing the accountability and the oversight that they
no,
should be, which is why we have such a rampant amount of toxins in our system.
yeah,
And most doctors are not trained to look or even consider
no,
toxicity, because again, this is all kind of illegal, and it's a lot of legislative, political, legal ramifications if these toxins, if we are associating them with chronic disease. And so that's why really in the allopathic system, they're not going to talk to you about these kinds of things. This is something you've got to go outside of the allopathic system. And you were classically trained as a medical doctor,
mm-hmm.
and you realized, hey, if I'm going to really help people, I've got to go outside of that and learn functional medicine.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the current system is amazing for surgical emergencies,
Yeah.
surgeries, mechanical issues, meaning you have a tumor, you need it removed, you have a knee,
Mhm.
you need, you really, if you have a mechanical issue that
Yeah.
you
You
won't be
break
able
an
to
arm.
fix,
Yep.
yeah, you need traditional medicine.
Yep.
I think it's great for obstetrical care for people who need high risk care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think it's designed to keep us healthy. It's designed to react to
Yeah.
issues. And I think what you and I are about are, let's resolve the issues we have and let's prevent new ones from occurring.
For
It's
sure.
totally different philosophy, different
Yeah, for
toolbox
sure.
too.
For sure. It's a wellness based
Yeah.
philosophy. It's about optimizing overall health and preventing chronic disease.